Are you a member of the cultural and creative industries? Looking for funding to develop your craft or perhaps further your business? Well, today's episode of CARICOM One-on-One is just for you. I'm Jascene Dunkley-Malcolm. Welcome to the program. The Caribbean Development Bank has launched the Cultural and Creative Industries Innovation Fund, CIF, to support the development of creative industries and socio-economic growth in the region. This fund was launched last week, and our Program Manager for Culture and Community Development, Dr. Hilary Brown, who's right here with me today, went to that launch. Dr. Brown, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Jascene.
Okay.
Great to be here.
I know. Thank you for being here. Tell me a little bit about what this fund is and, how useful it is for us as, CARICOM and, persons involved in the cultural and creative industries in the region.
Well, this Cultural and Creative Industries Innovation Fund is one that is so welcome and so needed for the creative sector in the region, and one that both the artists themselves and our government directors of culture have lobbied for a very long time.
Wow, so this is really great.
This is like the best news that could really, get out there for the sector. And essentially, after a very important intervention at Heads of Government meeting in 2015 in the Bahamas, which was led by former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson of Jamaica, we were able to really make the case well, and there was an agreement that the Caribbean Development Bank would collaborate with the CARICOM Secretariat, Caribbean Export, the Regional Development Fund, to establish a fund for artists. So we are so happy that it has become a reality.
I see.
The CDB has launched the fund with an initial contribution of $2.6 million US dollars. And of course, we are actively engaged in trying to bring on more partners. So this should just be the beginning. This is just the start.
Right. So I know there's this fund and there's all this money. We're hearing big figures here. Well, I don't know if it's exactly big, but it's a good amount. Yes, it's a very good start.
Yeah.
What is this fund for?
Okay, so essentially the goal of the fund is to increase innovation and the competitiveness of the creative and cultural industries. So essentially to provide resources, grant resources, that will help practitioners in the region to get that excellent business idea that they had for a long time, to get that going. And of course to assist them in getting to the point of exporting a lot of what they produce outside of the region. So essentially the fund has three main components. There are grants of up to $500,000 for the enabling $500,000 US dollars, yes, for improving the enabling environment. So that's like legislation and policy and all of the things that help the industries to grow. And then there is the fund for data gathering, because we recognize that we always are short on data.
So those persons who want to do research, that this would probably be more for academics then in the cultural industries.
Yes, but also our statistical offices in our countries, so that we can begin to gather regular data to inform policy interventions, to make sure that the industry can get incentives, just like how tourism and manufacturing and others are very well incentivized. But if you don't have the data to make the case, then it's very difficult to get that. And then the third component of the fund is, of course, that component for improving the competitiveness of micro and small and medium-sized enterprises. So that's the money for the artists and cultural entrepreneurs.
Visual artists as well as performers, all the different artists.
All of the sectors can apply to the fund, but there is an emphasis on 5 sectors, which is fashion, visual arts, music, audiovisuals, festivals and carnivals. So a little more emphasis on those, but it really is open
to everybody.
So
well,
we're looking for the best projects.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
So
And grants-
who specifically then can apply, and how do they go about applying?
Right. Well, the 3 pillars of the fund are competitiveness, collaboration, competitiveness and innovation,
Right.
collaboration and sustainability.
Right.
So really, and those sort of encapsulate the criteria
Right.
that we're looking for in projects. But to apply for the fund, you do have to be a registered entity.
Aha.
Um,
Very, very crucial.
Yes,
Very crucial.
And I think it's something that we do need to encourage the sector
For sure.
to formalize their operations.
Right. But where would you have to go to register if you need to be registered? Do you have to be registered with?
At the national level, it's just
Okay.
registering your business in the regular way that small businesses register, and that varies
Okay,
from country to
okay.
country. But the appropriate registration office in country.
Right.
So you need to be a registered entity, and your project has to be regional in scope, meaning it needs to impact more than 2 countries.
I see.
So the best thing would be to have a partner in another country.
And by more than 2 countries, you mean more than 2 CARICOM countries,
That's
not more
right.
than 2 any other country, right? So, if it affects the UK or the US,
No.
no.
No, we're looking at regional collaboration.
Absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yes.
Right.
So, because the idea is that we're trying to promote.
Of course, we're trying to
That's-
build the region.
Exactly. And to bring more awareness to our artists that there's a regional market
Right.
that they need to tap into.
Absolutely.
And as they do that, they actually help to build the regional integration movement, because culture is such an important part of what brings us all together.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
And a lot of our artists have been doing that. I mean, we know that our singers and performers do perform all over
Of
the
course.
region, and music is very well appreciated. I mean, even right here in Ghana.
Soca,
we-
reggae, oh my
you
gosh,
hear
it's
everything.
just, yeah man, it's
Yes,
it's a
so-
cultural melting pot
It
for
is.
music and of course other art forms, but music seems to be the most popular one
Right.
at the moment.
Yes, it is an
Right.
industry leader for sure.
Indeed. So this fund, as you can tell, or as you have said, is very, very good for the region, and we are grateful that it now exists. Thank you so much for joining us for the program, Dr. Brown. Is there
Thank
anything
you.
else that you'd like to say about this fund? Do you want to give us like a summary?
Let's see. I would just say that grants can range from anywhere from say $20,000 up to $150,000, depending on what the which fund you're applying to.
Right.
And essentially, what happens is that a call for proposals is issued. So far, calls have been issued for grant proposals for the enabling environment. That
I
one
see.
closes at the end of February, and we're about to do a call in audiovisuals
Right.
for participants in an accelerator, because part of what we're trying to
And
do
by audio visuals, you
is,
mean videos, right? Like-
video and film,
Right.
animation, right.
I
So
see.
we're going to be partnering
What about
with
photography? Yes or no? Not so much?
no, not so much photography.
Okay.
Yes. But as I said, we're open to all projects.
Right.
But there is an emphasis on some. I guess photography would come under visual arts. And there
Right.
will be a call
Ah,
for
for
visual,
visual
arts
arts
coming.
as well.
Yes.
Okay.
But the first 3 are the enabling environment,
Right.
film and audiovisuals, and then we're going to do fashion.
I see.
So,
So where can people go for more information about this?
right now, all of the documentation is on the website of the Caribbean Development Bank. Right.
Okay, so we will have to look into putting it on the
On-
CARICOM
we
website
absolutely
as well.
do. Yes.
Right,
It's still very new,
Uh-huh.
and so but we also need to support getting the word out.
For
but
sure,
we're really
for
very
sure.
happy. There's a steering committee that manages the fund, and the CARICOM Secretariat is on that committee, along with the CARICOM Development Fund
Okay.
and Caribbean Export and other
other
regional entities, the
partners.
OECS. Yes.
I
So
see.
it's a strong partnership, and really what we're trying to do is to ensure that we build on the initiatives of practitioners.
I
So if
see.
there's already a group doing a fashion accelerator, then we partner with them and put
Right,
resources in
right,
that.
right.
So really collaboration innovation and sustainability are the watchwords of the fund.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Brown. If you are interested in this fund, as you heard before, you can go ahead and check the Caribbean Development Bank's website for more information. This is truly good news for the cultural and creative industries. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of CARICOM One-on-One, and I look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday.